You're listening to an AppleViz podcast. Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas Domville, also known as Anonymous. So we are going to take a look at this new sound recognition feature in your HomePod. So those HomePod users out there, if you have the first or second generation of HomePod, or even like myself, I have the HomePod Mini, we can take advantage of these new sound recognition. Very similar to what we see in the iOS, where we had the ability to allow our iOS device to hear for certain sounds. And on the iOS, there's a lot more to choose from. And those were things like if somebody was knocking on the door, or if it heard any yelling or appliances going off, like your microwave or your washing machine, things like that. And when it detects a certain noise, it triggers a notification and alerts you that it thinks it heard what you have set up to listen for. This is no different. So the new sound recognition within the HomePod is similar, with one exception. There's a lot less option to choose from. And at this time of the recording, there is only one, and that is for the smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm, which is going to be great for safety reasons. I like having the ability to know that I have a little bit of peace of mind when my detectors goes off for one reason or another, that if the HomePod recognize it, it will alert me and others that you have set up when it is triggered. Well, the first thing we need to do, we need to set this up, and then I'll follow by what kind of things you should do when it does goes off, and I'll do a demonstration what it sounds like and what you'll see on your iOS device when your HomePod does detect a sound from the smoke alarm or carbon monoxide detector. So I'm going to bring up my iDevice here, my iPhone in particular, and we're going to head over to the Home app, and that is where we are needing to go to make this setup happen and turn on sound recognition for the HomePod.
Home. Double tap to open.
Now that we are located and focused on the Home app on your home screen, let's do a one-finger double tap to open the app itself.
Home. New safety and security features. Sound recognition detects smoke or carbon monoxide alarm sounds and allows home members to check in during critical events. Button.
How cool is that? That is the first time when you open up the Home app. If you already have opened it up several times, it will go away instead of seeing that. And I'll show you how to locate it without, if you don't have that option to select from. Bottom left.
Tab bar. Selected. Home. Tab. 1 of 3.
It's your tabs, and we want to make sure we are on the Home tab. If you're not, go ahead and do one finger double tap to make sure it's selected. And then we are going to go to the top right-hand corner.
More. Button.
Where we can find the More button. Just double tap that with one finger.
Home settings. Button.
And then it'll take us right to the setting that we need to do, which is the Home settings. So once again, do one finger double tap on that.
At Home. Button.
All right, so let's go to the right and see what we have on this screen so you can just follow along with me, so to something to compare with. And I also want to point out something as we go towards to something called Safety and Security button.
Done. Button. Name. Heading. My home. Text field. Double tap to edit.
Obviously, that might be different from you. I just left the default in, my home.
People. Heading.
This is where I want to focus on first, and people. So you need to have set of people that is have access to your HomePod, meaning that these are the people that you can set up a notification if you want to use the sound recognition, and who to notify. If you have just yourself and you don't want anybody else to get the notification, then you're fine. But in my case, I have my wife and myself, so you'll hear the two of us on this as I swipe to the right.
Angela Knight Domville, resident. Button. Thomas Domville, resident, owner. Button.
So there's the two of us there. And if you want to add anyone, you just go to the right here.
Invite people. Button.
And that allows you to invite people. And I'll give it a little summary here, what that means when you do an invite.
All members in the shared home can control and see updates from accessories. People invited to your home will need to be on the latest software to accept invitations.
So that's pretty much in a nutshell. So you're making sure that when you do invite people that you grant them access to your HomePod. So that'll be entirely up to you.
Home hubs and bridges. 1. Button.
We have a couple minor miscellaneous items here until we get to the safety and security button.
Intercom. Anywhere. Button. Safety and security. Button.
Here we are. This is where you want to go. So do one finger double tap on this item.
Sound recognition. Off. Button.
And it takes us right to the first item, which is your sound recognition. We do want to turn this on. There's a couple processes we have to do. So the first process is go ahead and double tap this.
Sounds. Heading.
And as you go to the right,
Smoke and company alarm. Off.
the first thing you're going to notice is this smoke and company. Isn't that funny? It really is smoke and CO, and that is for your carbon monoxide detector. So they're both detection is in this one item here. So if you want to turn this on, do one finger double tap to turn this on.
On.
And now that is set to on. We are going to go to the right here. There's some more things you have to look at and decide for yourself as you go to the right.
HomePod. Heading.
If you have more than one HomePod, if you're an owner, have multiple HomePods across the house, which is possible, we need to make sure those items are set on. You can set on to off to which one you want to be able to listen for the detector. If for some reason that I can see why you might have a weird feelings to have this always listening in, say, a bedroom or something like that, you can obviously turn that off in your bedroom and leave it on at all the other places in the home. And of course, if you have a large home, you may have multiple levels. You may want to turn them on to give better coverage of listening for those detectors.
Master bedroom HomePod. Paused. Switch button. On.
As you can hear there, that's the only HomePod I have, which is my HomePod Mini in the primary bedroom, and that is set on to on. And this is where you can just double tap and to select those items on and off.
Your HomePod will continuously listen for certain sounds, and using on-device intelligence, will notify you when sounds may be recognized. Sound recognition should not be relied upon in circumstances where you may be harmed or injured, in high-risk or emergency situations.
All right, so that's pretty good self-explanatory there. So let's go back out of here, top left.
Safety and security. Back button.
Double tap that with one finger.
Safety and sound recognition. On. Button.
All right, so we're in the second phase of things that we need to check on. And I go to the right here.
With sound recognition enabled, HomePod will notify you when an alarm sound is detected in your home. Notifications. Button.
You can go ahead in here, double tap that, and that will give you pretty much the same option we had before. I'll show you what that looks like. One finger double tap.
Allow notifications from. Heading. Master bedroom HomePod. On. Button.
You have to give access to this, and if you haven't given the notification access to the Home app, this is when it's going to pop up and you grant that access to it that allows you to be notified and that it can do the notification. So you probably want to double check that, make sure everything is set on and is correct. Otherwise, go to the top left.
Safety and security. Back button.
Double tap back.
Safety and notifications. Button.
Go to the right here.
Manage notifications from devices that can detect critical events.
All right. So this is where it's going to come into play whom you want the notification to go to. As you go to the right here.
Check in. Heading.
You should see the list of people that we saw in the previous page. So in my example is myself and Angela, and that's my wife. So if I go to the right here.
Thomas Donville. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
So this is already set on. If yours is turned off, just double tap that to turn on for yourself. So I do want to get the notification for myself. And let's go to the right.
Angela Knight Donville. Switch button. Off. Double tap to toggle setting.
Now, her case is turned off, and for this demonstration purposes, I'm going to leave that off, and when I get done with the podcast, I'll come back in and turn that one on for her, so that way we can both get the alert when it is detected. And then from here, you just go to the top left.
Back button.
Double tap on back.
Back button. Safety and security. Button.
And we're pretty much ready to go. Top right is your done.
Done. Button.
Double tap done.
Intercom to home. Button.
And voila, it is set up. And now My HomePod Mini should be ready for sound recognition to detect any type of smoke alarm and carbon monoxide. So I am going to do a demonstration now. I'm going to head out at here and go to my home screen.
Mail. No unread emails. Double tap to open.
All right, so I'm back on my home screen, and now we're ready for the demonstration. And what I'm going to do here, I have my handy-dandy Victor Reader here, which is a handheld device that I use to read books and such. And I just so happen to have a smoke alarm alert on this device, and I'm going to hit this play button, and it's going to emit as if it's a smoke alarm. So it's going to emit these chirping sound, and hopefully we will get a result on the home screen here or on my device. What happens when it triggers or detects a type of sound recognition, in this case, smoke alarm or carbon monoxide detector going off. All right, here we go with the obtrusive sound here.
Home. Now.
I'll stop the Victor Reader there, and let's take a look at what we have on the screen now. Now we got the indicator, and you heard that little tone.
Notification. Home. Now. My home. An alarm sound was detected by master bedroom. Check in now. Critical. Home. Now. My home. An alarm sound was detected by master bedroom and lasted less than 1 minute. The alarm sound is no longer active. Check in now. Critical. Button. Swipe up or down to select a custom action, then double tap to activate.
How interesting. This is kind of a cool deal. So this basically is telling me that because I stopped it and then I just kind of went back to the message, it noticed that it stopped. How cool is that? So it can tell you if it's in progress or not. But the thing I want to show you, if you double tap this with one finger.
Close. Button.
Hear that tone from the HomePod?
Double tap the top of this HomePod at any time to hang up.
So basically we're in an intercom mode, meaning that I can check in. So you can hear us. You hear my duplicate in there? That is because I can listen to what's coming out of the HomePod. So I can listen in the house itself to see if there's an alarm running on.
Close. Button.
Close is at the top.
Alarm sound detected. On master bedroom HomePod at 11:38 a.m. and lasted less than 1 minute. Talk. Button. Enable microphone.
That allows me to go live on the, so it's picking me up on the HomePod Mini as I speak and going into the phone itself. So you hear this echoing going on. I'm going to go ahead and close this.
Close. Button. Close.
So in a nutshell, what exactly happened there? When the critical alert came up, you got the tone, and I got all these things going on with the HomePod telling me there's something going on as well. And then it alerted me. The cool part about this whole thing is that not only did it tell me to hear something, but if it's still in progress or not. Maybe there's a false alarm and whatever not, it's nice to hear that. Otherwise, if it's ongoing, we can jump in, which I did. I did a one-finger double tap on that alert, and that puts us into intercom mode. And for those that don't know what intercom is meaning I can use my iPhone to listen in onto the HomePod. So the HomePod has ears or recorder or microphone for this, say, and you can actually hear what's going on in that house. And what's beautiful is that the intercom works all across the house. So if you have an intercom up and running on your HomePod, you can see if anybody's in distress, or if you know somebody's home, you can say, hey, what's going on there? And they will be able to hear you, and then they can talk back to you. But the point is that you'll be able to hear if that alarm is truly going off, which is really fantastic. And then it gives you the option of a talk button. So if you do need to talk to somebody, you need to double tap that to put on talk mode, and you can talk back and forth. All the echoing was going on was because as I talk here, I'm sitting right next to my HomePod Mini. That little microphone was going in there and then outputting it onto my iPhone so we can listen to real time. So at this point, it's up to you. You got some personal preference of what you want to do. You can call your neighbors or your friends to check out on the house, see if what's going on, see if there is indeed any smoke or fire or whatever have not. In my case, I have cameras located around the house. I could possibly go into the camera mode and have somebody look at that for me, see if you see anything going on. And then at that point, you can make a decision if you need to alert the emergency personnel or services. As my smoke alarm and carbon monoxide detectors I don't have it hooked up or have the capability to alert the emergency personnel, or does it to have any type of alerts that can notify me on my device. So this is a nice handy dandy feature to have that is part of your HomePod Mini to leave you peace of mind that your house is doing all right when it comes to smoke alarms and carbon monoxide detectors going off. All right, well, that's going to do. My name is Thomas Dumbo, also known as Anonymous. Until next time, bye-bye.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of AppleVis.com for the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device. Visit www.applevis.com.